Hey guys, welcome back to our urban homestead. My name is Chelsea. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here a while, welcome back. I'm going to show you today an easy preservation for beans. No canning required, no nothing. All you need is a piece of string. This is one of the earliest methods of food preservation for beans in like probably existence. So today I went ahead and I pulled up all of my bush beans that were out front and in the back because I've been blessed and have gotten quite a bit from them, and I need to start making room for the fall garden, and what those bush beans are going to give me is not worth like the 5 beans per plant to keep them in the ground. So I went ahead and pulled them all up, and as you can see, some of them are very large. They got away from me, and that's okay because larger beans are perfect for this method. So I'm gonna go ahead and snap the beans just where they grow, excuse me, where they grow on the plant. Leaving this part is fine. If they're string beans though, you do want to snap and take the string off. I did not grow any string beans this year. These are all blue lake bush and tender green bush varieties. So I'll be back after I get all of these done. I oftentimes get asked, where did I learn the skills that I have, how long I've been doing it. So the skills I learned came from my grandparents and my great-grandparents on my father's side. They lived multi-generationally. They had a, large area of land. They had houses. They did the garden together, which was massive. They raised and butchered all of their own animals. And I can remember being as young as probably like 7 or 8 when I would go and have to spend the summers with them. They taught me how to garden, even if it was, I was in charge of putting the bean seeds in or anything like that. And then I started canning right around that time. And then I lived with them for a while when I was an early teenager. And that was probably the most important time of my life because I learned so much. My grandma was the kind of person that she'll show it to you once and like you watch her one time, she'll do it with you one time, and then after that she expects you to know how to do it. So that summer I learned how to can all kinds of things and preserve all kinds of methods. And my great-grandmother, I remember having to do this. She always said that if your hands were busy, you wouldn't get in trouble. So I definitely remember stringing these so many, and it would take forever. But you know what? I didn't like it at the time. I am very grateful for that skill now, and obviously they're not with us anymore. But I'm glad that I have those skills, and I know I don't have my daughter on camera a whole lot just because she, doesn't really want to be. I let her choose when she wants to be. And I'm glad that I can teach her these skills. She does a lot of the gardening with me. That's probably her favorite thing to do. And she does like to do some of the canning and cooking from scratch and all of that. But the garden is her jam, and I am very glad that she has an interest in it. And I think it's important to teach, these skills and pass them down so they don't get lost. It's now more than ever very important to know what to do with your food once you grow it. Okay, so that's my I just wanted to let you guys know that because I do get asked quite a bit. How did I learn to do what I do? And I honestly just think it's in the blood. I really do. I just think it's in the blood. So, all right. So I've got some thread and a needle, and I'm making it quite long. So I'm just a bit over 5 foot tall, and this is probably even taller than April, and she's she's 6 or 6 feet. Oh, I thought you were like 6'4".
It's because you're a midget.
I am not a midget.
You are. You have dwarfism.
You can't say that. That's not nice to say anymore.
You have short people syndrome.
We're not always. She is not always politically correct. I try to be on the videos anyway.
Oh my god, I'm done.
You can't be saying stuff like that. People get offended just by like.
Well, I'm offended if anyone else is offended.
You sneeze. It's ridiculous. Bunch of wussies now.
I'm offended if anyone's offended.
All right, so then I just have my needle. I'm gonna make a big knot at the end of this. I like to double or even triple. Huh? I like to double or even triple the thread. Now, if you have fishing string or something like that, that would work beautifully.
I'll be in my dungeon.
Okay. And then you just want to like tie a couple knots at the end. So our green beans don't fall off. A larger needle works, I would say, works best. And then I am gonna tie the needle onto the thread. I had a difficult time getting this thread out because this was from my mom's sewing kit, and for those of you who don't know, I just lost my mom in January. I was the one that found her at her home, and so when I went to go look for the sewing kit, and I forgot that I had put her sewing stuff in with mine, and I just about lost it. It's hard losing your mom, for sure. I don't care how old you are, everyone always still needs their mom. All right, so I've got my needle, a long piece of thread with a good sized knot at the bottom. And then you're just gonna take the bean, and you wanna kind of do it in the middle and just punch it through like that. I'm using some of my yellow beans too. And you just continue to do this. The only thing I will say is you kind of want to crisscross them like that so they get plenty of airflow and they don't mold in between them. And then once I get this whole string filled up, I'll be back to show you, and then show you or tell you how to store them and how long this takes and how you use them. All right, I've got one string done. I like putting the yellow and the green on just because I think it looks pretty. And so I'm gonna cut the needle off of the thread, and then I will just make a loop. And in my pantry I have nails where I hang these, the chili peppers that I grow for my red chili flakes, and all of my dried herbs. So these will just go and hang, and they're just going to completely dry, and they're gonna look, you know, withered and stuff, but that's exactly how you want them to be. These are called leather britches, if anyone is not familiar with them. It is one of the oldest preservation methods for green beans, and they're good once you cook them back up. I like to do it in the winter time, and what I'll do is I'll put a big pot on the stove, and I'll throw in like a ham bone that still has like some of the ham on it, and cover that with water, simmer it for a couple hours, make a delicious ham stock out of it. Then I will take, I like to do the strings in what we would eat for a meal. So then I would empty this whole string into the boiling broth or stock, and then cook them till they're tender. It normally does take about an hour. Sometimes it can take 2 hours. And then like serve it with either fresh baked bread or cornbread. And it is such a hearty meal. It's delicious and comforting. And there we go. So I hope you guys learned another preservation method for green beans that get away from you, that get a little too big, or even ones that don't. You can do this with any size. You can do it with any bean, and it's a great way to have some delicious beans that you grew in the winter time, because we all miss the garden in the winter. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, until next time, abundance and blessings to you. Bye-bye.